Hello my friends, and this is top 5 most dangerous airports in the world on my personal opinion. By the way, I'm an airline captain, and the first thing you need to know is my name is Dennis and you are watching Pilot Blog channel. Let's go.
Pam pam.
Guys, I'm here and let's start from the less dangerous airports but still very challenging, and we'll move closer to the most dangerous airports, again on my personal opinion. Let's start from Gibraltar Airport, actually located in Gibraltar. You may find it in the south of Spain, but it's actually not the Spain territory. It is British overseas territory. And if you look at this picture, if we'll zoom it in, wow, it's the rocky airport. It has a huge rock. The runway there is quite short for Boeing 737 that I fly. It's 1,776 meters over 5,827 feet or something. The elevation of that runway is 5 meters or around 17 feet. But it's not impossible to land there or take off on Boeing 737 or Airbus 320. What makes this airport so unique is actually the crossroad between the road and the runway. So as you can see, cars should stop to give the way for the aircraft, and later on the aircraft can take off, taxi on the runway or land, as you can see it here. So just in the middle of the runway, very interesting. So probably they have some traffic lights. I'm not sure whether airplanes have the traffic lights as well. And after their landing, the cars and motorbikes can freely cross the runway. Very interesting, my friends. Very unique airport. Also, because of the high rock located just on the side of the runway, the moderate turbulence is a usual thing to experience during approach and landing to Gibraltar Airport. So here's the video of EasyJet probably. You see if they just hit the rotor. Probably they on a downwind side of the rocky mountain, and as you can see, it's quite scary. They're banking, so that's what the aircraft is doing, that then it's entering the rotor on the downwind side of the mountain. Well, they did the go around, it's a good thing, and later on they stabilized the airplane. Everything went fine there.
Pam pam.
The fourth place goes to Paro International Airport in Bhutan. Probably you heard about this airport, and it's very tricky one. It's very challenging because the Bhutan itself is located in Himalayan mountains. It's very near to Nepal and Bangladesh, so very high mountains around there. And if we open the satellite image over here, you'll see that we have just this valley, and you can approach flying very close to terrain here, and you need to bank out very close to the runway, and that makes this airport very challenging. The runway length is quite okay there. It's almost 2,000 meters, so you can fly the Airbus 320 with no any problems. But the tricky thing there is airport elevation. It's 7,332 feet, and the higher the airport elevation is, the less molecular saturation you have, so the less air dense you'll have, and that is more challenging compared to sea level airports. So here's the video of Airbus 320 approach and landing in Paro Airport. As you can see, they need to perform the final turn very close to the runway, and the guy who is filming is staying on the hill, and yeah, you perform the final very close to the runway, and that makes it more challenging to land there. I wonder if you can approach from the other side. Probably not. Probably it's only one-way approach. So in Gibraltar, that we discussed with you before, you may approach from both sides. Here, I think it's only one-way runway. Probably. I'm not sure about it.
Pam pam.
The third place goes to Saba Airport, and it's located in Caribbean Sea, actually in Caribbean Netherlands, and you can see it's quite a small island and with very small runway. Actually, it's the shortest runway of all airports that we are discussing today, just 400 meters. And the approach is very tricky because you need to fly over the cliff here for approach, and also you have one more cliff at the end of the runway. So you're in cliffhanger situation from both sides, then you land or take off from this airport. Let's see the video from the cockpit, how pilots would land their Twin Otter there. Twin Otter is Canadian-made airplane, it's turboprop, and it's short takeoff landing performance airplane, so it's not a problem for it to land there. Yes, you have throttles on the top over there, and very funny yokes, as you can see, they are interconnected. So the landing has also reverse, probably, correct me if I'm wrong. Touchdown just in the beginning of the runway, 400 meters. They are stopping, you see they stop maybe on 200 meters because this airplane is very capable airplane for short runways.
Pam pam.
For the second place, let's move to Europe, to southeast part of the France, and here we have very famous Courchevel Airport. It has very small and short runway, around 537 meters long, and also it has uphill of around 18 degrees. This airport is very dangerous airport because it's located also in Alps, and it's very famous. If you like skiing, you can rent a small airplane and you can fly there. If we go to satellite image, you can see we have huge mountains, huge Alps around. Very interesting place to fly to. The airport elevation is 6,588 feet, and you need quite powerful airplane to fly that high. Here let's see what happens if you maintain high approach speed and overfly the touchdown area for this short runway. Let's watch. So the airplane overflown the touchdown area and didn't attempt the go around, landed, but in the end something happened from other side, the other camera. Yes, they hit the snow wall. One more camera, it seems like everyone was filming the landing of this airplane. Seems like Piper Malibu or something, correct me if I'm wrong. The view from a cockpit camera. Here's what pilots see during the approach. So we have a cliff here. People skiing. Nice. So here it was also long flare, but quite okay. And that uphill helps you to stop the airplane. And of course, if you take off from other side, it will help you to accelerate the airplane.
Pam pam.
And finally, the first place goes to, ta-da, the Lukla Airport in Nepal. Yes, my friends, by far I consider it the most dangerous airport to fly to. And it has a very short runway, 527 meters long, and incredible elevation of 9,334 feet. So it's very difficult to fly there. But Twin Otters, Dorniers and Let-410s, they fly there regularly. And you have just one runway for approach, because here on the other side you have the huge mountain, and at some point you didn't have the opportunity to go around, to perform the go-around procedure. It's called Tenzin Hillary Airport because there were two climbers who firstly reached the mountain Everest. Tenzin Norgay and Edmund Hillary were the first climbers. So the video now, and it's the approach and landing of this Twin Otter. Nice airplane, outstanding airplane for its performance. I would like to try to fly this airplane. And here we go, we have one more airplane on our left, and it's a Let-410, and I have review on my channel about this also fantastic airplane. It has retractable landing gear if you compare it with Twin Otter, and probably it's a little bit more heavy than Twin Otter. So you land from this side and you take off from this side. Oh, by the way, this is Dornier 228 probably, correct me if I'm wrong. So you take off there and you land from that direction. So it's one direction runway. And my friends, this is very difficult airport to operate to. I have the simulator video. I was trying to fly the Flight Sim 2020 to this airport, and I had one of the comments from the real pilot who is flying to Lukla Airport. He flies real airplanes, and he said to me that he flies 5 times per day to this interesting airport. Crazy and scary. As you can see, before this airport had unpaved runway, so that's one more twin otter probably landing on unpaved runway. Maybe that's the previous modification of the twin otter here, but of course it's better to have the paved runway. I was able to find the information that this airport has a history of 11 accidents, and of course some of the catastrophic accidents. So some of the accidents are quite okay, like this one. This Dornier was stopped by the wall, so no any casualties, but many airplanes crashed around this airfield or at this airfield. You might Google it. I will not put those horrific images to this video.
Pam pam.
The bonus airport, and actually this video was filmed by me flying the ATR 72600 for Garuda Indonesia. And yes, my friends, I used to fly in Indonesia as a captain on ATR. So I just put the camera on my head, and this is the airport, and by far it's the most challenging airport that I used to fly to. This video is around 5 years old. So here we have terrain, and the airport is over there, and you need to perform the final turn at around 300 feet to overfly this rock at 200 feet around. And we also have the very huge mountain over there. It's very similar to Gibraltar Airport, and the runway is quite narrow. It's 30 meters wide, but it's quite long. It's around 1,700 with something, and even Embraer's 175s can fly there. 170, 175s. Nice. We have a small cliff here, and here we have the perfect pavement runway. And you can land on ATR only from one side, so one side landing runway. If you fly the twin otter, you can land from other side, because at the end we have a quite big hill over here. You may check out this video on my channel. It's actually the first video that I published on my channel. And my friends, it's very important for me to feel your support, so if you don't mind, just follow the awesome guide checklist. It's a very simple thing to do. First, just like this video, then subscribe to my channel, ring the bell, whatever it means, and thank you very much for watching this video. Have a great time.
Pam pam.